Troy, what you were in there for a while. It seemed a little longer than usual. What was the message to the team today?
Yeah, we were only in there long just because I wanted to wait for all the guys that were finishing up their fitness. I didn't want to speak to the team in two different groups, so it wasn't a long team talk, but it was an important team talk just to make sure that we recap where we were deficient tonight, and I start first with myself in our match plan. I don't think that we were aggressive enough, and the identity you've seen for us at our best is an aggressive team, and we were really passive tonight. So that's number one, and number two, we have to, when things aren't going particularly well, and Toronto was on top of us for a large part of the first half, if not the majority of the first half. We have to fight through that, and we have to support one another, and we have to start to display more action that will bring us out of that mode. And this is really the summary of what I just said to the group.
Were you given the form of the team the last couple of weeks? You got some results. Things were coming better. How disappointed were you that the way things unfolded today?
Yeah, this is what I said. Thursday, in terms of building momentum, building consistency. We haven't consistently put together enough wins, and so this is what we're aware of as we prepare for a Toronto side that is in a similar position that we were a few weeks ago. Their teams in our league are not going to stop fighting, and I thought that they were excellent tonight, number one, and full credit to them. They were prepared, and they made plays. But it's a good lesson for us that every single match in this league is going to be very difficult, particularly whenever we don't display ourselves and who we are.
Yeah. Christian didn't get a lot of service today.
Yeah.
It seemed like there was missing that engine in there. How do you fix that? Or what do you think
I think that that's a really good example of many times whenever we were playing to him, he was surrounded by 2-3 players, and so what we'd like to do is try to progress the ball a little bit more and get another number in the attack, or if not two. And we weren't able to do that consistently enough today. So we really left him on an island, and again, that goes back to how the match plan was set up, and I take full responsibility for that.
Jason Anderson. Might be muted. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Yep.
Good. Thanks for speaking with us. I wanted to first ask about, you talked about the match plan, so I guess that covers the first half of my question. But the second half, especially those last 15, 20 minutes, it just seemed like the group couldn't really muster the ability to press Toronto and prevent them from sort of pinning you back for much of that final stage of the game. Do you attribute that to fatigue, or was there some sort of breakdown in terms of execution?
Yeah, I don't know if it was. I don't know if it's fatigue or not. I wouldn't put it to that so much as I think many times we were able to get on the ball, maybe connect one pass, and then the second pass would let us down. So when you're doing that constantly throughout 90 minutes, I think that's going to really cause you to not be able to have the same bite against the ball in terms of the way that you want to press. So I look at how many turnovers we had today, and many of them were unforced. And this is something that we have to address.
I did want to ask, it looked like at halftime you shuffled up the center backs. You went from Lucas in the middle to Kai. I was just wondering what that was, what informed that decision.
Yeah, we just wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. Like I said in the first half, we were never really aggressive. We never had the ball wins that we typically have. So we wanted to push another number higher up the field, and sliding Connor over to the left side and Schneggy a little bit higher. That was, we kept Kai and Lucas in the middle of the field. So sometimes it looked like a back five, but it would shift into a back four as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
On their first goal, Insigne gets on the end of the header. That was in transition. How did you see that unfold? Because you had just had a corner kick.
Yep.
And then things went flying the other way.
Yeah, I think that the rest defense at the top of the box on an attacking corner we just weren't organized, and they left one number high, and then they had two guys that were ready to break out, and we had the numbers there, but I don't think that we had the behavior because they obviously got the better of us in terms of being able to get beyond Aaron. And I think we all know that doesn't happen very often with Aaron. So I think the setup, again, we have to do better on that because that's the difference. That opens it up for Toronto.
Next we'll end with Dennis Gomez.
All right, thank you for your time. Just want to ask quickly about formation. You've been using 3-4-3 and you've had positive results before. What was the decision for going to 5-4-1?
Yeah, it was still in our way in the back three, and in the back three or back five, however you want to describe it. It was a similar setup today. So we chose to get aggressive in the first half in particular in a different way. And as I said, I don't think that was the right decision, but it was still a very similar setup in terms of system of play going into the game.
And just a quick follow-up. The first half, DC United didn't have any shots on goal. What was the talk that you had with them in the halftime just to kind of get them going?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it enough. We weren't ourselves in the first half. And first of all, I have to look at myself and say, okay, how were we not able to display that? And so we make a couple adjustments at halftime. I challenged the guys to be more in our way, and I think we did a little bit better job of that. But on the whole, from start to finish, Toronto's the better side, and they deserve all 3 points.